Welcome everybody to the two-man power trip, the black man starting the nerd lifestyle. I'm Nicholas, Mr. Go with the Flow.
And I'm the man with the plan, Maurice.
And we're back with another edition of the Blerd By Nature Podcast. What's up, what's up? Big Zilla in the 5'3", Illa from Tokyo, Black Anime Podcast number 202. We are here. What's up, co-host?
We good, bro. We good. We don't know about this 5'3" business, but we are okay.
5'3" still official because a nigga still short.
Bro.
It's been a minute. We back in the building. What's up, man?
What's good? How's your week, bro?
Yeah, let's step into it with a little vibe, guys. What's up? So we've been on break for a little bit, crossing over all the way back for a couple weeks. Niggas still trying to bounce back and recover from a little R&R vacation time, taking the captain out for her birthday, good time in Vegas and stuff like that. But the shenanigans of this week in particular, or this weekend, moving on to this week in general, pretty much just kind of chill vibes. Went out to go get some sushi with Kenya, and that was kind of chill. Just kind of moving on and making sure things are put in place and maneuvers are made and whatever can come up. For the work. Well, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna preface that with, for any of the listeners listening, no co-host did not get hit. He did not want to get jumped by me along with everybody else.
No, but the captain was trying to throw some funny ass hints, and I was like, "Come on, man!" Because once you out there in Vegas, there's a shit ton of chapels everywhere you turn, and there's a lot of jokes running. And I was like,
"Captain was like, wink, nudge."
Oh yeah, definitely. She was like, "Look at the signs," and then I saw other signs that said, "Don't do it, go." Like, no, literally, as we saw like chapels, there would be like other signs that I'd be like, "There's signs right there that also says stop, don't do it." And then we saw one chapel and like another chapel, and they were in between, like a jailhouse in between there. And I was like, "That's
wild." No, that's fine. I had to process that for a second. I was like,
"Listen, man."
I was like, "Why is the jailhouse there? Just in case the divorce go wrong and somebody gotta go."
I don't know. Shit is funny. Shit is funny out there. But there's a chapel road. There's a whole bunch of shit. Vegas is surely an interesting time for sure. But nonetheless, yeah. Back to my work week. My work week was for the most part, it's a new month, new bullshit. New usual stuff and stuff like that. After a couple of weeks of all the shenanigans of my room situation and stuff like that, that's all passed, and we in the new place and stuff is put up already and shit like that. So it's same shit, different day, different month, same old kooky people, pretty much. That's where you chop it down to. I think somebody in the office got their shit stolen, but beside that, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's wild.
That's what I heard through the grapevines. I was sitting in my office and I was hearing other people talking about somebody got their shit yacked, and I was like, "Damn, son, cold."
Are you getting your reps in with your new door?
Pretty much, yeah. Because every single minute I be closing that motherfucker like there's no tomorrow. Because hopefully that should be the buzz, so they don't hear my shenanigans, so I can get my day and shit like that. Enjoy my podcasts and shit. But nonetheless, co-hosts, floor is yours because I hear there's been a lot of shenanigans as of late. So go ahead.
Yeah, work-wise, we started to bring a lot of stuff in-house. So it's been a lot of stuff coming in. We've been sorting through a lot of things, getting a lot of new processes set up. So that's been taking a good chunk of time at work.
Yeah, man. Co-host was Pallet Man. Yeah, that him last week.
Man, these doggone pallets, man. They just
Pallet Town, boy.
They just kept coming. They're coming. We started on a Monday. We didn't get everything put away and look decent until like Thursday, but then after that we all had went out to a Korean barbecue spot. Good food.
Good. At least you and the 151 Pokemon was out there working.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we went there and then we went to a hookah spot afterwards.
Good shit. Oh no, y'all celebrated good. That's good.
Yeah,
y'all had to work. Y'all had the relaxation. That's important.
Yeah, it was good. I was at Thursday. We came in Friday, just chilled out, did whatever little bit we had to do, and that was that week. This week was our first week using the new process, so we're just going through stuff and seeing how things go. So far, so good. And of course, during all this, my car shopping adventure has continued.
Yeah. I
So
do. Co-host trying to be big baller here. He showed me some options. I was like, I see you. This nigga trying to melt down my gold and make the gold bricks.
Yeah. Some of them options we had to kick off because the repair costs. I was like, ooh,
I thought so.
no.
Shit, it's so funny, yo. I gotta send you a video after this podcast is over about something. It was like a video set from like, I don't know, just YouTube just knew what was going on. Cause I got a video talking about like the cars you should avoid because of the maintenance and this and that. And I was like, oh, look at the perfect time on that.
Like I said, the car was fine, but like these maintenance costs of that one in particular, I was like, no.
Definitely sending you after this.
This a money pit. I can't do it. Next.
That's why they big baller brands, because they way above certain pay grades after a while. And I'm talking about hassle.
Yeah, I went to go look at one today.
Mm-hmm.
It all seems good. That's actually where I was today before I started recording.
Oh, that's where the jersey popped up from?
That's where Jay popped up because I was in Jersey.
I figured it had something to do with it.
It's so funny because it ties into the episode because I wasn't too far from Hackensack where Chucky takes place.
Oh shit! Look at that! We're gonna keep that in mind for that joke.
Oh man, I was like, I need to get out of here.
Facts. We're gonna talk about why there.
But like I said, I did that. I saw the car. Everything was looking good. Until I pulled up the car.
Oh no, it's stinky. Damn. I hate that shit.
Essentially, the car just had more miles on it than ported. All that stuff is there. But I was like,
that's boo boo.
Like I said,
niggas try to get you every time.
No, I felt bad for them because it was the car had two owners. They're the second one.
Oh, I didn't know.
The odometer foolery happened with the previous owner. Dang, I was like, that sucks for you. I'm not buying the car, but that sucks for you.
Yeah. I was like, sucks for you, but sorry guys. It was a nice ride out, but no.
Yeah, I drove around a little bit. Like I said, everything drove well. What they reported matched what they had, but I was back to maintenance.
Hey man, it sounds like the journey continues.
Yeah, journey continues. Like with maintenance that high, I was like, this is gonna be repairs, and I was like,
man, you just be on the cusp and you in the motion, and that shit be falling through, man. I know originally when you told me that first one that you was all revved up, ready to get, and they snatched up at the last minute, man. It was like, damn, son.
And then I went to see another one previously before this one, and it was just like it was the cosmetic stuff. I could have got detailed and looked past, but I saw that check engine light come on, and I was like, no.
Already?
Sir, this was a different car. This was like the car I went to go see like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I was like,
still,
no.
damn.
I was like, no, sir. I didn't even drive it. I was like, no, sir.
Like what, man?
I saw that. I was like, I looked under the hood. I was nope.
Bro, what? Fuck, nah. That's something else, brother, man.
Yep, I was
like, hey, man, the journey continues. Yep. Yeah, keep a brand on that for sure, man.
Oh yeah, like I said, I ain't no rush, and I always do due diligence.
I know, yeah. No,
bro, my due diligence had not failed me yet.
This is important and big money. We talking about like important thing to ride out with and shit like that. Like if you need to take your time, take your time.
Oh yeah,
nobody rush your ass up into buying this shit and then put this whole bunch of money on you just to be a hunk of junk. You drive it off the lot and that shit break down like no.
That's exactly. I was like, nope, dude. I'll take my time doing my due diligence. So far, it hasn't failed.
Exactly. You already know, bro, and I already know you good on the research, so it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, but that's generally how my last couple of weeks have been. And then we got Halloween time.
Yep.
Comic-Con time.
Yep. You know, it's time for a certain Scooby game to get reformed, and a certain Lil was telling me about tickets coming up and stuff like that. So we about to be booked and ready for 13th. A certain spooky 13th Scooby Gang all reforming for a fun time again.
You know what I think about, man? This no anime NYC in November throwing out flow off.
Oh, bro,
this one we usually harass. This we usually harass Ron too.
That's a whole thing in mind that I probably got to tell you off a podcast because I like it's just I don't know what's up with that just in general, but like yo son. The nothing happening in November so weird.
Yeah, that's usually the last hurrah.
Yeah, but now it's gonna be this month is the last hurrah, which is so weird.
It is so weird.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
It's just like poof, that's it. And then we just get Halloween and then straight to Thanksgiving. And then
It's supposed to be next. It's supposed to be that last count and then Thanksgiving. This is not how it's supposed to work.
Nah, man, they then threw everything out of whack, and now it's just a giant open area, and nobody wants to take it up with no big con. So it's like, what the fuck we doing?
Yeah.
But anyways, let's switch on. We going off the cuff discussions. For our off-the-cuff discussions for this week, I wanted to get your opinion on how music and soundtrack affects media like games, TV, etc. And if you have one in mind, give an example of one game of like if it's changed like the identity of the media, would the game feel the same? Like imagine a game, certain soundtrack and stuff like that. And imagine if that game didn't have that soundtrack, would you feel the same about that game?
Oh yeah, they like tweaked it a little. Okay, so no, music and games and media and things like that are very important.
Yes,
like I said, you can forget certain aspects of the thing, but you'll always generally remember them.
Oh, definitely,
because it gets associated with the memory.
Absolutely.
So I'll give you an example. I'll even use Final Fantasy VII. That whole battle with that final battle with Sephiroth and his whole Sephiroth theme.
Oh yeah. Now imagine that was different.
I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't like it at all.
It
wouldn't be the iconic build that it is.
Nah, I didn't play the remake that they did, but like, what if they remade it and then changed that theme, or made it in our terms a Death Rebel version of that Sephiroth?
It would not hit the same.
No. My go-to example for all this is always with Budokai, and when they went to the Budokai HD collection, because in the midst of the Budokai franchise, when they found out that guy was stealing music and he was shunned, when they did the HD collections, they had to change the entire soundtrack, and nothing really hit the same. Like, you was playing the same scenes, the same game fights, and everything was coming together the same, but the music wasn't the same, and then some scenes just never hit the same rights.
I will give you an example from wrestling. Ric Flair's theme, when they put certain matches and videos up, they changed his theme and it sounds boo-boo, and I know it's not supposed to sound like that, and I'll be like, what the blue hell?
Oh yeah, I agree.
Every time I hear it.
Like we talk about it before with these streaming rights and all the information that comes down with that, and just the changing of the time. I remember watching WrestleMania 19 and hearing the Undertaker come out, and I was like, damn well, I know that's not his theme at this time right now. What are we doing here? I know he was out there with the Limp Bizkit and stuff like that. Like, what's going on? This was not the You Gonna Pay theme. Like, what are we doing here? Something was off. So it's like the little tweaks, and your memory will definitely fight it instantly. You'll be like, nah, this ain't right.
Yeah, like I said, we can come to plenty of examples.
Oh yeah,
like when we talk with Mike about Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
How they did that.
Yep.
And it was boo-boo.
It's all about the rights and what happens in between. That's why we always talk about physical media and the snapshot of things in history, because things like YouTube in a certain area or saved videos on a certain time and stuff like that, you get commercials or the status quo that just cannot be changed from that format and stuff like that. Where streaming rights, I mean, it's all about rights and what happened in between, that they got to cut things out. Things happen that evolve over time that'll have either the things get shunned or pushed away or something like that, and your memory will always fight against that, and you'll be like, nah, this shit don't feel the same. This shit not rocking. This shit not filling up my nostalgia quota.
Exactly. Like, oh,
nah, it's definitely not. But yeah, so we'll close that off for the off the cuff quick discussion off that, and let's get into some nerd and reboot news so far. So right off the top, I want to talk about, so we went to the movies these past 2 Tuesdays, and I just wanted to get our thoughts on the quick non-spoilery kind of thoughts on both the movies, The Wild Robot and The Killer's Game. So the week before this last Tuesday, we saw The Killer's Game, Batista's movie and stuff like that. What did you think of the movie?
Listen, I enjoyed it for what it was. It needed more Batista bombs, but other than that, it was a decent movie.
I enjoyed it for Batista's take on John Wick and his style and stuff like that. She was funny. She was funny. It was exactly what it was even a bit more gorier than I even expect. Batista was really f***ing them up, especially when the Asian gang showed up. That's crazy. He was definitely an animal there, yo. He was definitely working. It was good. It was good for the spots and the fun bits and stuff like that. You know what you was in there for. You saw the trailer. It's wackiness and infused and stuff like that. But it was good. I enjoyed it for sure. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a good go. It was a good.
Yep. And now this past Tuesday we saw the Wild Robot.
Yeah!
Go ahead, man.
The Wild Robot.
Woof! When I talk about that's gonna set up to probably be one of my animated movies of the year, boy, that shit was good. That shit was super good.
Listen, that was a good movie.
That was
a good movie.
That was. I expect that shit to be in award conversations for next year for sure, because that shit had my emotion tizzy. That shit had me laughing from jump. All the characters was pivotal. I love it, man. I love it. It's great. It's great.
Yep, I was good. Yep, right in the fields. I was popping for the big robot. Like, yes,
absolutely, man. Absolutely, for sure. And speaking of, since we're talking about movies, man, it looks like our selection is slowly starting to be made for us. Because have you heard about the reviews on Joker 2?
I've seen rumblings, and I was like, oh,
bro, I just saw the Rotten Tomatoes score. They said that shit went from a 48% to a 40% today. That shit is, every review is coming. Like I heard like over like maybe a month ago that some reviews were starting to flow in. That was like wishy-washy. Now this shit coming down to the wire and everybody calling it the absolute boobs. Yeah, I don't know. It look like our decision for Transformers about to be handed off to us. Because I heard Transformers pretty good, so I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, between those two, I was like, listen, we gotta at least see this Wild Robot. I was like, this one looks like
we knew we were seeing a robot movie for sure, and both of them was getting good praise and stuff like that. So I was fine with either one. It's just next week for this Joker movie. Since this Joker coming out this week, I don't know. People are hung up on this shit, so I don't know. We might have to put that shit on pause and go see this Transformers again.
Hey, you might have to do that. Might have to do it.
But yeah, so next bit on the news. There's in the last, I want to say month, probably, there's been so much like celebrity death. So I just kind of rolled it around into like one. So I'm just going to say like RIP to John Amos, Ken Page, Dikembe Mutombo, John Ashton, Chris Christopherson, Maggie Smith, and Tito Jackson. While ironically, on the flip side, President Carter just turned 100 years old. Like, it's been a time of some weird, like between celebrity deaths and people that's still alive and stuff like that. And have you seen a recent picture of President Carter for his birthday?
No.
Oh, brother, man. I saw a picture beforehand, and I saw a picture of like him on his actual day. Not gonna lie, that shit look crazy. The way how they had him propped up in that wheelchair, man, it's giving SpongeBob that old lady vibe. Yeah, that shit crazy. But living to 100 is definitely something. But man, it's an existence for sure. But like just so many celebrity deaths in the past month. Like, it feels like 2024 was doing like a sweepstakes on just taking so many people out. It's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. But shout outs to the legends and people and stuff like that, from Good Times to the Nightmare Before Christmas to NBA legend, assistant in Blade, John Ashton from the Beverly Hills Cops series, Maggie Smith from Harry Potter, Tito Jackson, Jackson 5. Like, shout outs to all the legends and their histories in their career for sure, man.
Yeah, for real.
Yep. So further up on some nerd news, we got the announcement this week, man. The wrestling industry is taking it on to streaming wars going well, man. AEW announcing that they Dynamite and Collision gonna be on Max in January, while we got WWE and Raw going on Netflix and all kinds of the wrestling is streaming, man. It's coming around, son. Shit's going crazy.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a good time for wrestlers.
Yeah, wrestlers and
more options is always good.
Oh, definitely. But the interesting, it's so funny being a wrestling fan, especially on the side of like when it comes to Max, because on the same, it's so funny on the same day that AEW gets their deal announced and stuff like that. It was like on the same thing. I checked the hashtags, and hashtag fire David Zaslav was still trending because on that same day, Max was getting rid of a shit ton of cartoons from different eras and stuff like that, clearing house and shit like that. And I'm like, bro, it is a double-edged sword to be a wrestling fan and like enjoy Max because we know WB be fucking up like there's no tomorrow, and they be just clearing house on Max because they could get a write-off off getting rid of all these characters. Some fucking, but then at the same time, Max puts on wrestling. It's like, bro, you can't. You gotta fit on. You gotta literally sit on the fence for this shit because one side they thanking David Zaslav so wrestlers and people can get paid, but then you get all these animators and stuff like that. You gotta stand with animation while people aren't getting paid and getting deleted off their whole shit. Like everything getting deleted. It's such a weird time to be a nerd in spaces.
Yeah, for them on Max, I just don't get it. I'm like, is it a quality over quantity thing? Is it?
It's tax write-offs. It's tax write-offs. They legit delete all this shit for write-offs. It's weird. It's their shit. But like,
yeah, I don't get the logic behind it.
It's the same thing like every streaming thing when they're like Netflix owned and they get rid of their shit. It's like you can't find this anywhere else. What are we gonna do? There's no physical of this shit, so you're just deleting this shit in the ether. If it wasn't for pirates, that shit would have never existed.
And this is why pirates will always be around.
Oh, yo, ho, nigga. They're the only ones keeping your shit even in the zeitgeist. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, it's gonna be like One Piece. You're going back to the seas.
Pirating and physical media will always. That is just it. Pirate King was real because it's gonna stand above the rest for sure.
Yep, come on and sing along. Streamers get no money.
Facts. And no residuals either. Shit. Well, yeah, so continuing off on that. Speaking of fire shit that'll drop, yo. One thing I always say this about just the hood in general, and people talk about this all the time. You either got niggas love their weed, niggas love their liquor, niggas love their partying, niggas love they Call of Duty, niggas love they 2K. But for sure, one thing's for sure, at the end of the day, you can have your Naruto, you can have your Bleaches, you can have anything under the sun, but one thing the hood gonna always stand is some fucking Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, 100.
And it was announced like sometime this week that Sparking Zero, their pre-orders beat out Call of Duty 6. You know the hood gonna put up numbers when they say a new Budokai, a new Tenkaichi, a new Dragon Balls game that look like the classics with a big-ass roster, and Fight Nights commence. That shit is dropping next week. The countdown has been going on since the day this shit was announced, just in general. And for it to beat pre-orders of Call of Duty, you don't beat pre-orders of Call of Duty, especially not the hood, but the hood gonna stand by Dragon. And Dragon Ball, shit.
If it's one thing that could do it, it would be Dragon Ball Z.
Listen, niggas have heard, niggas enjoy Naruto, niggas enjoy Bleach. Things will always go down the line. You will get your variety of different animes, but the one thing the hood gonna prop up no matter what, before niggas even gave a shit what anime was, Dragon Ball Z was on the docket.
Yep.
Dragon Ball Z will always be on the docket. You will not challenge that shit. And that's why that shit is going to reign supreme. Yo, everybody, we talk about this all the time, how people are sick to death about the 3D platform fighters or whatever you want to do with anime fighter video games and stuff like that. You want to know why? Because they're always tested against Dragon Ball Z. And once Dragon Ball Z stands there, you ain't beating Dragon Ball Z.
Nope.
You can make copies. You can do all you want. Storm tried to change the game and stuff like that. And Storm definitely hit this mark at the same day, at the same time, all the time. Everybody will always remember Budokai and Budokai Tenkaichi. That's why Spark is here going be a different shit. When that come out next week, shit is going crazy.
Yep. Nah, listen. It's something about the Dragon Ball Z games that
it hits the part. It's the nostalgia that won't quit, man. It's the shit. Do you know how for years on end, niggas would complain if you don't put in the full Dragon Ball Z story in video games, and the niggas have seen it like 500 times Nobody wants to skip the Raditz battle. Raditz and Piccolo, you better get it ready. You better get when Goku catches the hole in his chest, you better put that shit in every single time. I don't care. Story mode will be the same by 50 times. You know exactly what's gonna happen. Vegeta gonna blow up Nappa every fucking time. That shit not gonna change. You gonna stay with it.
It's the Madden and 2K of anime fighters. That's
Yes,
what it is.
Absolutely.
That's what it is.
It is the Call of Duty. It is like these are the things on the hood checklist that won't change. Niggas will not give that up. It's a hood certified classic, and this just me.
Yep, it's in that role. That's where it sits now. And
yeah, it will forever. And with the passing of Toriyama and shit like that, it's legacy. Pin that shit on the wall, straight up.
Listen, yeah, you know, Bandai probably knocked down them rights for eternity.
Money streaming out the ass and shit like that. And then plus on top of that, the shit drops officially, and the same day Dragon Ball Diamond drops too. Like, bruh,
they know exactly what they was doing.
Perfect synergy. It's all the stars aligned for that shit.
Of course. They like this hiring. They say, okay.
Oh, definitely. They rubbing their hands for all the money they finna get. So,
like you said, if Bandai Namco was going to throw some money somewhere, you knew they was going to throw it here.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. If they didn't give a shit about anything else, any other anime fighters, they said Dragon Ball. We got the team A, S, and Z on the bitch.
Listen, they would scrap everything else to make sure that they get this one.
I would too. Once you put the Budokai banner on it, and you got like the base roster is 181 characters, and more to come. And DLC with packs, bro. Like the hood's fighting for a while, bro. The hood's fighting for a while. The
fighters gonna be eating good.
Listen, bro, you know how stingy niggas is? Even though there's like 181, 182, and niggas even still coming in, there's still niggas online that was like, well, Budokai Tenkaichi 3 had all these characters, and y'all missing these bro, it's 100. Do you know how hard it is to have this much characters in a base roster in video games? Do you know there's still fighting games that give you like 20 characters off rap?
Listen, man. Yeah, listen, man. That ain't like, we got you. Don't worry, them DLC packs is coming.
Listen, bro, they still releasing DLC for Xenoverse 2. Yo, I could not believe when I saw a trailer. I was like, Spark Zero about to come out in like 2. How the hell y'all still got even possibly working on Xenoverse 2? Do you know how long that game has still been alive for some reason?
They're keeping it alive. They're trying to get as many people to transition over as possible. They're like, listen, you guys, people know what we gonna have them over here too.
Fighters still kicking around for the Evo heads. Xenoverse 2 is still kicking around for whatever fucking reason. And then Spark Zero finna drop for all the niggas that just want the scraps. Like, bro, if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, if you're a Dragon Ball fan, we still out here.
If people wasn't still playing, they wasn't still making money, they would not be releasing stuff. So obviously something going right for them over there that they're like, okay, we got this up. Bro,
the video games is what kept Dragon Ball alive for how long and all this time, man. 18 years with no new content and stuff like that. And Akira Toriyama and the team finally woke up to make Super and shit like that after all these years. It was definitely the video games that was keeping this shit pumping years.
Listen, they was like, yeah, they see that and they were like, okay, all right, guys, we see y'all.
Headshot, it's my money, of course, man. So yeah. So next up on the nerd news docket, so we got a date completed for next week as well. We got the Krabby Patties hitting Wendy's. We saw the image of it and everything like that. They dropped a little poster on how they doing their secret formula sandwich and shit like that. But that shit's dropping on the 8th of October. So Wendy's. Everybody gonna be busting through them doors and be like, rev up them fryers, because Krabby Patty meal is coming to Wendy's.
Are we gonna see the sponge?
The sponge got to work overtime, because the way how them niggas be yelling 4 for 4 is gonna be the same way niggas is yelling up for, you know what I mean, Krabby Patty meal. Thank you.
All right. So who's gonna be the first one to display a nasty patty?
Are we gonna see it? Somebody gonna be
on TikTok somewhere.
Oh yeah, somebody gonna paint it up nasty or drop it on the floor and shit like that. You're gonna be like, yeah, you can't believe what I just got out of my box. Look at this nasty piece of
yeah.
Anyway, shit is wild. But yeah, so even further news on that. Speaking of your adventures in Jersey, WWE announced, I think it was last week, that we getting 2 nights of SummerSlam in the MetLife, bro.
We outside?
What's your thoughts? Possibly. We outside. Possibly. I mean, I'm good. If we outside, we got to talk to Ryan, because I'm getting way too many flashbacks of a certain incident of a WrestleMania 35 in very bad weather.
Oh, listen, I can tell you that I will definitely have my car by there. So we definitely not doing that.
Well, there you go, brother. Because I'm not
getting stuck out in that water like I did last time. No, we not.
The flashes of horror in my mind that listen, man. Once again, I will never let Ryan forget how that nigga saved me from that shit because I was so lucky. Like when we all left and we was running outside and shit like that, and I was like, yo, that everybody talking about the trains down. I'm like, this weather don't look too nice. I'm like, bro, these Ubers is insane. Nobody's heading back home. I remember massive amount of people walking Jersey back to New York, and it was just a mess, man. That was a horrifying time. WWE did us so dirty with our work shift and bad weather and they was like, fuck y'all.
Yo, I'm just like, bro. I remember I was like telling about like, listen, no, you stay there. I come. There ain't no way you getting in here.
Yep. Listen, man, that's why it's been so long since they've done something effective in MetLife, bro. It's just I think the bad juju had to wash over everything pretty much, just like it washed over them people.
They probably went to the city of Jersey and was like, listen, we not doing this again.
That's why they do it too nice. They was like, we gonna let them niggas go early, man.
Yeah, they're like, we ain't doing this again. You're not gonna get us caught up in this.
I'm not gonna lie. I think a few years ago, I think Beyonce had a concert in the MetLife, and I think a similar situation happened where they was like, even Beyonce couldn't control the New Jersey. When New Jersey wanted to shut down, New Jersey shut down.
Yep, that's why the E was like, MetLife. Oh,
too
funny. Got flashbacks like, oh nah,
we ain't
doing this again. Two nights, y'all. Nope.
With Cardi B and Bianca Belair doing the commercial for that shit, it just gave me the vibe that this SummerSlam about to turn into Summer Jam.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, they're like, yeah, now we gotta get them out of here early. Jersey trains can't trust.
Oh, facts. Not at all. So make your maneuvers, make your peace, and get the fuck up out of there for them 2 nights for sure. But yeah, niggas might be outside for sure. Okay. I'm thinking that since I already went to Vegas and I don't think I'm gonna be around for Mania. That SummerSlam is actually looking pretty tempting for sure. It's
because I was thinking about Mania in Vegas, but then I heard then SummerSlam like,
yeah, I was like, I ain't been to a SummerSlam.
I'm like, yeah, that's one of the big four that I have not been to yet. So I was like,
yeah, we was at a Survivor Series.
We did Survivor Series.
And a certain Survivor Series for sure.
Yeah, we had Survivor Series. We did Mania.
Yep.
Got SummerSlam and the Rumble.
Yeah, I ain't doing Rumble. So hopefully one day we'll see Rumble pull up to. It'd be nice if the Rumble pull up to New York.
Where's the Rumble?
I just heard Chamber might be in the UK. I think it's what they said. Don't they have like Lucas Oil Stadium or something like that? I think they have a deal with that.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think it was like Pat McAfee was announcing that they had like a multi-stadium deal or something like that.
So yes, the Royal Rumble. Oh yeah, the Rumble. Yeah. Oh, it's in Indianapolis. Okay.
Yeah, Indianapolis. Okay. So we got that. But yeah, so SummerSlam, New Jersey, niggas might pop out. Definitely sure.
Yeah.
So next bit on the docket, speaking of Dragon Ball news, they also announced that the first 3 dub episodes of Dragon Ball Daima will actually be going to theaters in November. So if niggas ain't had enough of having the sub while the sub is happening in October and shit like that, niggas don't live until that dub drop, and that dub drop going to happen in the theaters and shit like that. And yeah, I mean that's pretty cool.
I know November is open now, so maybe.
Hey man, we be at the cinema. So
yeah, so
I mean 3 episodes of dub Dragon Ball. I mean I'd be here for it. I saw Broly, so I mean I'm here for it. I'm here for it for sure. So yeah. So next up on the nerd docket, this is definitely something I wanted to talk about since we've constantly talked about the fucking Blade news that's never happening, bro.
What's that now? What's the movie that you speak of?
Marvel's never heard of it apparently. So speaking of that, on the flip side, Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan said, yo, to hell with all that. We dropping our own shit. They went to filming, they went to dropping, and everything's coming out and shit like that. And now we've had a full trailer to look at this. And we talking about Jim Crow South. We talking about twins. We talking about vampires. We talking about discrimination, all this kind of shit, all this wild shit. I don't know, this trailer for this movie they titled Sinners, which I said is a not Blade type movie for sure, with Ryan Coogler and his denouement, his muse, his Michael B. Jordan. The trailer of it looked nice. I'm definitely ready to go see it. I think that shit drops in March. So
I was gonna say, remember, word on these Deadpool streets is that there's only
and that just dropped on I think HD and stuff like that, and I think on DVD and stuff like that. So everybody who hasn't seen that movie and go pick out that movie to go watch, you'll understand why there truly is only one Blade and ever will be. At
this point,
I would laugh my ass off if somehow we watched the movie center and at one point at somehow like even in a small cameo, fucking Mahershala Ali shows up in that.
Listen, man,
I will laugh my ass off, especially if there is no Blade announcement of anything by them.
Listen, Mahershala Ali show up in that movie, shots fired.
Oh, absolutely. At that point, that movie should come out. He should have a line in that movie, and after that, there should be an announcement that he has departed from Blade. At this point,
we need a cameo with him and Wesley.
Yeah. Oh my God, if it was in this movie,
man, listen,
jokes just write themselves at this point.
Yep.
But
yeah,
I tell you, I'm excited for this movie, but everything surrounding it is just so
for real. It's like, come on, y'all had one job.
But yeah, so onwards to the next part of the news discussion. I wanted to get your thoughts on we got new belts in WWE. We got the new Intercontinental little color sprinkling a splash and stuff like that on Monday, and then we got the two new NXT championships that we got in the CW premiere. Which shout outs to NXT with getting a high ass rate, being happy to the CW people and stuff like that, being all kinds of black on the NXT, working out real well. So what's your thoughts on the Intercontinental and the two new NXT champions?
So I like the blue. I like the splashes of blue that they put in there. And it just reminded me, looking at it, that the Intercontinental title, the current one, does have some resemblance to the old title. It's just the oval is vertical instead of horizontal.
Agreed. And then at the same time, it's so funny how just a little splash of color really does help a lot of things, because I honestly kept calling that championship when they first brought it out with Sami Zayn. I called it the Dakota ring. It was ugly as hell. It was too dark for me. I just like Gunther made it what it was, and it was nice and stuff like that. But like when Jay came out with the splash, I was like, okay, I love this shit way much more now. The color matters.
Yeah, I was always wondering why they didn't put the blue gloves on there to begin with,
man. But hey, Triple H's burner be hot on Twitter because they was mocking that shit up all last week, and then all of a sudden they was like, "Yo, Jay, come out with that." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, I'm like the IC blue. I was like, it's right there. I was like, that's all it was missing, really.
Yeah, that went ranked up to one of those belts that, hey, yo, if y'all want to slip me a replica, I will take that shit. That shit beautiful. That shit great.
Yep, I was like, there we go. That's all it needed. I was like, okay.
Def.
As for the NXT belts, I like them.
I do not. I like the old ones better, actually. This is my same argument. When I looked at it real good, the HD pictures online and stuff like that, the online pictures of them is nice. They look like part of the synergy. They look like UFC, and I get the synergy and stuff like that with doing that as well. But my little issue was, I like the splash of color that they added in the last NXT stuff, which once again goes along with the Intercontinental stuff that we was doing from before, where a little splash of color really does change things. And I did like the little splash of color they was doing when they shifted off with the NXT 2.0. I think my problem with the titles is the same thing. I kind of shift my thought with the logo as well, because the color was doing it for me. NXT giving themselves some color did a lot. Them going with this silver and this platinum shit like that feels very dry. I don't know why. Everything shifted off into a very drier bit of color.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying with that. Me, I've always been a fan of the black and gold. I like the colored one too. It's okay.
Black and gold. At least gold is at least a shining thing. It's silver. The silver shit not working for me.
I like the silver belts. The only thing I don't like about them is that they don't pop. They need something. It's some kind of contrast.
They need color.
It's either color. It may be some diamonds. It just needs. It needs something, but for you to have that silver, you need something else to make that title pop.
Bro, I think I saw in the HD close-up, they have diamonds. I think they're silver diamonds on a gray belt, on a gray blackish belt. That don't work.
Yeah, they got to change that. It's something. They got to put something else there to make that pop, because you're dealing with muted colors with platinum.
Yeah,
and you need something else to make that stand out.
I don't know. All these darkish color schemes and shit like that. It felt like you know have you ever seen those meme pictures of them showing how McDonald's looked like before they went corporate? Like the when they did the remodeling, how it went from like the plague place of all the colors, and then it shifted off to like that brick and mortar looking type.
You know, this comes back to the same thing as the Intercontinental title. It's the glow.
Yeah. It's legit just the color for me. I feel like if they added a splash of color into the shit, it would make a big load of difference. I don't know how they want to disperse the color, but it's just the drab of taking away the color.
I think if they do something with the globe,
maybe if they color the globe.
They got something. They got something there. It's just,
maybe if they color the globe.
Yeah, they got like if they. I'm thinking if they do something like what they did with the Big Eagles globe. Yeah. It's just they need to
like the blue globe.
Yeah, they need to do something. They need to do something with the globe to make it pop a little bit.
Yeah, I just like between that and just it always feels weird to me when people are always talking about they fighting for the gold and it's always like silver belts.
Yeah. I was like, it's not as silver as the ECW title was, but it could use some color. Like the women's title reminds me of the tag title.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like every time I saw them, like when they did the side by side or when people was holding between their old belts and their new belts, I was like, nah, bro, just give me the color. They had a splash of different colors with the gold and the white background. Now you switched over to this all darkish looking thing, and then they look way too close to like UFC belts, and they not even gold, no color in there. It just feels like they swiped the fun in NXT, man. So it's such a strange contrast to what NXT
I'm looking at the original black and gold title versus what they have now.
I mean, at least those were gold.
Yeah, it's like the logo. Like I said, the logo can work. It's just something to pop around it.
Yeah, silver is never gonna be.
And that gold that they got around it, it's like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. So I don't know. I see good job. The two NXT titles, I feel like they need work. I don't know. They need to shift some more something or something like that. But we'll see if they ever eventually do that.
Yeah, we'll see how they progress with it.
Yeah. All right. And last bit of nerd news. This past weekend was, I think, the season premiere, or they were doing something weird on the new episode of Simpsons and stuff like that. I think they were doing like a joke on parody on them doing like a series finale within their own thing. I don't know really what's going on behind it. I watched the episode, but I was still confused on like exactly what they wanted to do, or if a parody or something like that. But it's officially supposed to be the start of the 36th season and stuff like that. And with that comes, we've had I think this is the second ever wrestler to be on The Simpsons or be kind of like a Simpsons character besides Bret the Hitman Hart. And that was John Cena. John Cena got to pop up as himself on The Simpsons delivering a baby.
That's typical John Cena fashion. I'm not surprised there.
I mean, that's cool though. If you on the legacy of actual wrestlers that's been on the show is just Bret Hart and then John Cena, that's pretty big.
Hey, he could have showed up as the Peacemaker.
He could have, but he showed up as himself, and he did the "You Can't See Me" to the baby like a big. Pretty nice.
See me.
Pretty good shit. But yes, that closes the book on nerd and reboot news in general, and I guess it's time. It's time for the main event. The main event segment of this evening, picked by co-hosts. We are back on the comfy couch for sure, and we are going to tackle. And I'm telling you this, after watching this first episode, I am back on the angry train that says, yo, bring this show back, man. This shit was a gem. What y'all doing, yo?
This shit got me hot.
Hashtag
got me hot.
Renew Chucky, man. How y'all been at Chucky before October, bro?
Right? Chucky was my October thing. Damn it.
Bugging, son. And now I heard, I saw on Twitter earlier that Sci-Fi got Chucky under their banner and shit like that. So I don't know if Sci-Fi cooking something, but they better figure their shit out, because I was not done with this show. Absolutely not. And this first episode gave me the whole feels. I was like, damn, I forgot this show was this good.
Yo, for real, I was like, that's all right. I'm getting ready to like, oh yeah, Chucky back, yeah, because they left off like a cliffhanger.
Yes.
And I'm like, what you mean it's canceled?
And you want to know what's crazy about the Chucky franchise? Even though they canceled the show, They could just continue. Like, if you know Chucky series and all the movies and shit like they've done like one reboot, but they've even considered that a part of the main canon altogether. They've mixed their timelines together, and that's what like horror franchises does in general and stuff like that. But they can drop a whole new movie and continue the lore altogether if they will be honest. Yeah. So canceling the show, they can just bring it back because Chucky lore just doesn't fall off. They'll just continue to go with the shit. It just always fucking works.
Chucky always comes back.
Yeah, that legit. Like just like Michael, just like Freddy. Like when you have a horror icon series, it don't matter how many times you fumble or make a garbage ass shit like that. They'll come back. Hell, they already had the Michael Myers series all finished out with him and Jamie Lee Curtis the last time in the final fight or whatever. Bro, they gonna bring back Michael in about give it about 10 years. They'll bring it back. They'll bring it back for a TV series or some shit like that. Michael will never go away. None of the horror icons ever go away. Yep. Exactly. They'll never. But on that note, we'll go into some fast facts and some histories I looked up and stuff like that. So let's go on here. Based on the Chucky horror character and movie series, Child Play series, this is the 8th main installment of basically a horror comedy made by Don Mancini. Stars Brad Dourif as his iconic Chucky voice on Sci-Fi and USA Network before it was mistakenly canceled. Ran from 10/12/2021 to 5/1/2024 of 3 seasons and 24 episodes, basically molded down to a coming-of-age horror story as a killer doll comes to life to terrorize the lives of like 3 specific teens and everyone that surrounds them. So if Coast, do you have any more notes to go with it before we go into episode 1?
No fast fact for the story.
All right, you got a story?
Yeah. So one time I was in Hot Topic, right? And there was a good guy doll there.
Oh yeah, I got a side story on that too.
Yeah, in the box and everything. I saw that in there. I poked that sucker. I was like, I'm ready. Let's stay in there. We ain't got no problem. Like, you come out of this box, I'll burn this whole bitch down.
Oh, listen. You think that's bad? Well, shout outs to one of my brothers back in college, aka Leroy. A certain bro definitely wanted to pick up on his different horror iconology all throughout his room and stuff like that. Deck it out in styles. Got a death note from me at one Comic-Con that he asked me to bring back, so he had one of those. But on top of that, one day he went out for a holiday vacation and he came back with a good guy doll, and it was just in his room. And I swear, if it did not, shout outs to one of our former guests that we had on the podcast, but shout outs to Kimari. Bro, did he mess with Kimari that whole time when they were roommates with that fucking good guy doll in his room where they shared?
Oh, nah.
He would have that, and then over time he would add Tiffany with it too. So he had both dolls in his room, and you would imagine sleeping at that time. You're like, oh fuck, if them niggas disappeared. And you know, Leroy likes to play around, so you knew he took that shit out the box and that shit disappeared. So you already know you got a tense ass nigga up in there. And then you got this nigga playing around with the dolls, and then the shits just disappear. And yo, he was an RA at one point. I know he was messing with some of the kids. He probably popped that shit in a room or something like that, spook a motherfucker or something like that for sure. He was definitely messing with them good guy dolls all around campus.
Man, listen, find that good guy doll in pieces. I'll tell you.
Oh, facts. What? Just like a certain nigga's dad busting up dolls and shit like that. Oh hell yeah.
Fact. Ain't taking no chances, nope.
No. Bust them shits up. But on that note, we could get into episode 1, Death by Misadventure. Let's go.
Oh yeah, right. No, the episode starts. We hear some heavy breathing from a certain doll, and we see some lady brushing her hair.
And we also got the show opening up on that news report of bodies getting hacked up.
Up to 11. Yeah, they ain't hacking sack. Like I said,
hacking sack for sure.
Yeah, that's why I got the heck up out of there.
Yup.
Like, you ain't gonna add me to that statistic. I don't know.
Nope.
But the lady was brushing her hair. She turned around, and then we get our intro to a good guy doll.
Yup.
Looking all creepy and cute,
opening their eyes and shit like that.
Heidi ho.
We know of your games.
And then right. So then there's a garage sale going on, and one lady pick up the doll and just set him up right. And at that point, we get our intro to Jake.
Yep, here comes Jake.
Jake is looking around at stuff at the garage sale. He sees the doll, and at this point, he picks it up, and then the lady starts negotiating with him.
Yep, gotta haggle that shit. She was like, "You like vintage?" He like, "I like that. I like that retro."
He like, "What's the difference?" He like $10.
Yeah, Facts. So swing that 20.
Worst $10 ever spent.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets the dog. So he gets the dog and he goes on his way.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
But
Right. So they exchange pleasantries and off Jake goes.
mm-hmm.
And then later, she's like, she's like, somebody stole the butcher knife. I'm like,
oh yeah. At that point, anybody coming in there that knows what's up, you like, oh shit, here we go again.
Yeah. And then we see Jake walking away with the dog. I'm like, Jake, what did you
do? So yeah, we go on to Jake on there on listening to that little horror podcast run by Devin Evans, aka that Hack and Slash podcast.
Yeah, and he just telling us about all the stuff that's going on.
Yeah,
in this little city.
I got the murder rate spiking. Explains the murder. I liked how they gave detail for the people who don't know. He explains the murder closely resembles the Charles Lee Ray family murders and stuff like that.
Yep, and we as this is going on, we just see Jake walking around and they talking about Charles Lee Ray and how all these murders happened. We see him holding that evil dog.
Yep.
Anybody as a Chucky fan knew this ain't just about to go left.
Oh, you already know,
right? So Jake at this point, he get home.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
this is our intro to Jake's room. And man, what an odd collection of things to do with dolls, brother. He's certainly a certain kind of artist.
Yeah, when I saw it doing, I was like, what in the blue hell?
Dog, I'm not gonna lie. Let everybody express their way of however they want. But I'm not gonna lie, if my child has art done like that, I'm gonna walk into the room and I'm gonna slightly be spooked. Because boy, the way how this shit got pulled apart and them dolls is in pieces, making like a human centipede type shit going around all around. I was like,
imagine when Chucky seen all this shit. He was like, what?
He said, buddy,
he's like, hell no.
We
like, where's knife?
He said either you working with me or like you got your own problem. I think you might end up being the killer before I am, man. What the fuck?
Right? You see Chucky's eyes wide open, the doll. I'm like, he's right
like, nigga, what you gonna do to me?
Saint came over with gloves and he was like, oh no, he's trying to rip Chucky's head off.
Yeah, he was trying to pull that shit. Like, no.
His cat knows something is up. Cat got the heck out of there. He's like,
the cat. The cat started rubbing. Cat started rubbing and hissing and smacking and cutting, and then all you saw was that shit ran for. Chucky was like, "Oh, nah, you done fuck with the wrong one right now, bro."
Like that cat, like, don't do it, son. Get that shit out of here. Mm-hmm. The cat, like, something ain't right about that dog. Get out of here.
Yeah. Binksy was like, "Yo, I sense this juju off him."
Yep. And at this point, Jake's dad come home, and Jake trying to rip off Chucky's head. Still, he's like, "Okay, this ain't working. Let me go get some."
Yep.
Chucky about ready to like pounce.
Oh hell yeah! What? Trying to pop my head off, my guy?
Yeah, like Chucky, like, what you going to get? He's like, I'm about to murk him. The cat's like, oh, and Jake done pull out a pocket knife.
Mm-hmm.
Give me some really creepy vibes here, Jake. I don't like it.
Oh yeah, Jake's an interesting fellow for sure. But he turns to get that knife and he goes right about to get that work in, and then his dad calls him down. And Chucky plays off that. He goes straight into dog mode, asking if Jake wants to play.
Yeah, I'm like, Jake, you should have kept what your original thought and chopped that motherfucker. Right, he going to his good guy spiel, and then Jake Pops will come in, and Jake Pops will probably like, this.
Man, Pops was like, bro, he's trying to encourage his son to get out into the world. He doesn't care about his art. He wants him to get a real job and shit like that. He looking at all this stuff. He like, man, this is spooky, man. He said, you type weird.
Yeah, he's like, bro, go ask a girl to the movie. Go do something. Not with these freaky dolls, yo. And then they zoom in on these dolls, and the more they zoom in, the creepier it gets. I'm like, bro.
It's not just, we're not talking about like one figure that just got piece of dolls. It's multiple all throughout the room. And like, he's got an eclectic of very, very interesting things.
Yeah, this is some. Yeah. Jake, this is weird. Chucky, you about to be next.
At this point, you would have thought Chucky had met his match.
Like Chucky was like, oh no.
So in the conversation between him and his dad was talking about he don't think he get paid for Jake to go out on that was it a school trip or was it he was talking about something that he couldn't pay for Jake to go out. He's in public school right now, but it was probably like some trip or something like that. He couldn't have the money for him to go away for a while.
Yeah, it was something like that. He told him his cousin was coming over and some stuff like that.
Yeah, he said to take his pills and stuff like that, and made sure stuff like that. And you're like, oh, all right, he's an artist. He's doing a whole bunch of shit, but he's also got to take pills for a certain kind of, I guess something's happening to him as well.
Yep, and then we see the cat. Chucky start moving around, and the cat start hissing, and then we get the
hell yeah, yeah, and it's a perfect fitting for the show. Creepy song intro in the name, and the dolls surrounding them is like, you haven't had enough of doll pieces being creepy. Here you go, Chucky.
Yep. So then we see them all downstairs, cousin on, and I'm just
family dinner.
Yep, like dinner was awkward.
Yeah, bro, the dad. This is where we get into it with his problems. Just he's saying he's in debt, but like he's drinking a shit ton, man.
Oh yeah,
like he'll down the bottle like a motherfucker.
Yeah, bro.
And his brother trying to help him, but he feels that he's kind of belittling him because he's the rich brother with a nice rich wife and shit like that.
He's perfect family and stuff like that. And it's like, and his brother trying to explain to him, it's like, listen, ain't no shame in getting help. He's like, I'm your brother, bro.
Yeah, but he not trying to hear none of that and shit like that. And then the conversation gets even more awkward when they shift the focus to his cousin Junior. And they was talking about like how Junior's doing so well and shit like that. And then he was talking about his time in the Boy Scout. And then out of nowhere, this nigga turns to Jake and just outs him straight up. He was like, yeah, I think gay people are allowed in the Scouts now. And you like, well, damn, nigga, damn. Because his dad was already on 10 after he heard that shit.
Yeah. And I'm like, ooh.
He's in the father super enraged and stuff like that. And the family gets to chatting. And Jake tries to turn that shit around. He's talking about the art and his cousin don't let up about him being gay and stuff like that. But he don't really want to talk about it. And his father don't want to talk about it.
His father was just like
his father was mad as fuck to the point that he like broke the glass. He was like, he's young. He don't know what the fuck he is at that age.
Yeah, his pops was not feeling that, especially in front of these people.
Yeah, he's already feeling lower and shit like that, and he already probably thinks that his son is weird, and then son probably is queer, and then he's like, nah, bro, I'm not with any of this shit.
Yeah, he's like, his pops was not processing any of this.
Nope. So in the midst of that, Bree, the mother, goes upstairs because she's trying to find the bathroom, but then she takes a turn to Jake's room to see all the freaky shit that's going on there.
Yeah. I'm like, woo!
She's trying to make her secret phone call or whatever the hell she's doing on the phone, talking to somebody while you got Chucky lurking in the background and shit.
Yeah.
And every time she tries to talk to somebody on the phone, she keep hearing noises in the closet. And she's like, what the fuck? All right, she got to check. And she opens up the closet and she sees Chucky, but the cat just pops out. So she just assumes that the cat was. She was just assuming that the cat, I guess, was making noises and shit like that, while Chucky was not to be suspected. But contraire, miss.
Oh yeah, you see that, man? If I opened that closet and I saw that doll, I would close that closet immediately. Listen,
that is 100% something Leroy would have.
I ain't been down looking at nothing. I'm closing that closet. If I can lock it, I'm locking it.
The way Mars was trying to light him up for shenanigans like that, man, I'm telling you.
Like I said, hidey ho, nah.
For sure, man. So she closes that back, and then we get around to the family leaving. So the family dips out. They had a good time at dinner, even though it was kind of awkward. They shift out, and then in the midst of that, Jake looks for Binks the cat. Man, he looking for his cat, and then like while he's calling for Binks, and Binks isn't showing up or nothing like that, all you hear is like destruction noises and shit like that. And when Jake goes back to his room, he sees his dad taking back all his art shit.
Well, don't forget, he flipped off his cousins and his aunt and uncle.
That too.
Sidebar, that Lexus is one of the ones I was looking at.
I mean, what was I saying about co-host guys? I'm talking about Big Ball over here.
But like
he want to be like the rich brother. I hear you, man.
But like I said, at this point, Jake goes back to his room. His dad is destroying all.
Big man, big drunk, destroying everything, just not fucking with nothing.
Yep, destroying all.
Jake tries to stop him, and he's like, "No more dolls ever. And in the midst of like the destruction and everything going down and everything looking shams for Jake just being sad in this room with all his destroyed artwork and stuff like that, he pulls Chucky out from under the bed and a piece of Binksy is on the ground. He's like, what the fuck? What happened to my cat?
Jake's going through it at this point.
Yep, he has had a terrible night for sure. So the show flashes forward to the next day, and Jake is looking to see how much the good dog goes for online. He can't like he's like, yo, shit, that's mad money and stuff like that. Like $850. I spent like $10 on this dog, and niggas is looking for this shit for like $1,000.
Hey, like you said, when he looked down, he seen that piece of Binksy.
Yeah, man, he's seeing the return on investments, and he's like, I got to get the dog up out of here before my dad go Rambo on this shit.
All right, he's looking at it. He's like, what? He's like,
exactly.
Binksy? Oh no.
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck? Sure. So while I guess he's doing his research and stuff like that, he ends up carrying Chucky on the bus, and the kids, between laugh and taunt at him, throw shit at him and stuff like that. I think he the weird kid with a doll.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I definitely see that.
Yeah.
Man,
so Jake takes his seat and he sits right behind Devin, the podcast guy that he listens to, and he looks like he's ramping up courage to go speak to Devin and stuff like that. But right before he gets a smile and everything, he's ready to ramp himself up to go talk to Devin. And then instantly right there, he sees his cousin Junior sit down and give him a dap. So he's Junior's friend, but not, I guess he don't notice that Jake even exists.
Yeah, and I'm just,
yeah, Jake desperately wants to meet him, but it looks like he is numero uno with his cousin, and that's already the enemy right there. Yep. So we cut to Jake in the hallway and stuff like that. A friend meets up with him and talks about, he's the only one that gives him props for actually having a good guy doll and stuff like that. He asks if he wants to sell it to him. He's like, nah, you cool. That's good on some retro vintage type. But though I think this was a funny moment where Jake tried to stuff Chucky in a locker and he just kept trying to put him, but his big head wouldn't fucking fit. And he just kept smashing. Yo, I can just imagine Chucky in that moment. He's like, I'm gonna remember this.
Yo, imagine you carried this doll all over school. Why is he here?
I mean, that's his MO, man. I guess he feels comfortable with the doll, man.
It's like, yeah. And Junior, he's trying to help him out. He's like, listen, let me introduce you to my cousin or something.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But yeah, that's when we meet. This is our intro to Jake's cousin's girlfriend, aka Lexi.
Oh, Lexi.
Yep, social media girly herself. Yep. And Jake is selling his stuff, but Lexi thinks twice about that. She was like, "Oh, is it because you're poor?" And she tries to half-ass help him by like taking a photo of him and shit like that.
And the first thing that Junior says, like, "You're not tearing them apart for your art, are you?"
Lexi's something else, man.
About that.
yeah, man. Yeah. So after they talk with Lexi and Junior and stuff like that, we are smash cut straight into the class where Jake's about to dissect a frog.
Oh man.
And Jake is having an absolute tough time with this. He don't do well with blood,
which is ironic.
So, side note on this, one thing about this made me think about this, but have you ever had to do this for a class?
I don't. You know what? I don't call.
This is a trope in a lot of schools and stuff like that. Like this is one of those, or taking care of the egg for class, like a baby assignment or something like that. Have you ever had to do any of these assignments for school?
So not that I recall, I think this is a very suburban thing.
So in my school, few people got selected for certain things. It was dissecting a frog. That was definitely a thing that happened in that they tried to get across in our school and stuff like that. But few people were selected. Not everybody was forced to do it or did it for a grade or something like that. And then on the contrary, the people who got through the frog stuff actually was moved up to a level to actually cut a whole pig.
Yeah, I don't cut anything like that. I don't remember that. Maybe it's not in the city's budget. I don't know. But
to each school is their own. That was a thing that happened in Truman High School. So I don't know.
Yeah, so I guess it depends on where you are.
Yeah,
like I said, I don't recall it. Maybe I subconsciously blocked it out. I don't know.
Maybe shit. All I know is that when I saw this, I was like, this is a trope that's happened in various things. I'm curious for the people who've done it, because I remember, my school they had it, but they never like forced it for a thing. But it was like various things that various schools was doing for chemistry and all this other shit. So yeah. So that was something I put in my notes.
But then the next thing you know, we got Chucky.
Yeah. Jake cuts and the blood flow comes out. So Jake gets sick and stuff like that, and he goes under his desk and stuff like that to kind of like almost barf. But then in the meantime, like Chucky gets that little tingle as he's trying to be an incognito, but like he sees that scalpel right in front of him, and he get to working. And then by the time Jake gets up, that frog got toe up from the flow up.
And while it's like that frog was still alive and moving, I'm like,
Dog, can we talk about how fast Chucky is that no one saw this doll fucking like the way how he had to work with this scalp had to be like anime level precision cutting it up because every bit of orifice was out of that fucking frog. He turned that frog inside out.
Yeah, I'm like, bro.
Nobody saw this doll going in.
Chuck fat. Whoa.
Fast as hell. That was, you want to sell how dangerous a motherfucker is, bro? He took that scalpel and shredded that motherfucker. Nobody heard a peep. Nobody saw a doll move. Nobody, like, he literally went down and then came up. That speed is like, he did that shit like he was Sonic.
Yo, and then the next thing you know, son, they had put together a whole GoFundMe.
Man, so the teacher came around. She saw that shit. She was like, "Oh hell no, this is you got problems, little nigga. I told you to make a small incision and shit like that." And then in the midst of him trying to call down the teacher, everybody getting a notification on their phone about some shit, and then they all laughing and clowning his ass. Only to find out somebody showed it out that Lexi made a GoFundMe page violating old boy Jake and with Chucky in his hand.
Listen, at this point, Chucky done asked the science teacher Jake done asked the science teacher to hold on to Chucky. He's like in the locker.
Yeah, he was like, yo, I'm so stressed out with this whole shit because some bully named Oliver messing with him and shit like that. These niggas is violating. They throw they throw coins and money at him.
Yeah, and science teacher over here giving Lexi the third degree. She's like, nah. She's like,
take
it down.
Yeah. She was like,
she's like, but I raised 75. Like,
she pulled it in and she said she wanted to talk to her about her behavior. She got detention and shit like that. But I said Lexi got manipulation down to a fucking science. The way how she was batting back this teacher.
Yep, and like teacher's trying to school her, give her that old wisdom. Like, listen, she's like, listen, I've been where you at.
She said, well, I hope at 30 something I'm not teaching this school. Like, sorry.
Yeah, I was just I forgot how
how early days Lexi was.
Yes. Oh, I forgot.
Listen, keep that in mind when they do the talent show because bruh, that brought up some thoughts for sure.
Right. And teacher was like, you can hold this detention.
100%. 100%. But it's like, yo, just like Lexi wasn't fucking with nothing and stuff like that. She wasn't scared of nothing. She was like, we can get people down here and your people is friends with my mom and stuff like that. Like, I get that shit done lickety split, no problem. So in the meanwhile, that we hear narration done by Devin under another episode of the Crime Style podcast, and he's talking about all kinds of crimes that's happening. Jake is listening intently because this is probably his favorite podcast and shit like that. Yeah. He's listening to all the detail and stuff like that, talking about all kind of crimes that happen through schools and stuff like that. And then in the midst of that, Devin pops out on Jake and he scares the shit out of him. He like, what you listening to? It must be something good. You're listening to that shit every week and you happy as fuck.
Right?
Jake is embarrassed to tell him any bit that he likes his podcast. He's not trying to mess with none of that shit like that. And then Devin clocks him instantly. He was like, oh yeah, you listen to something cool? You listening to vampires? Oh yeah, that shit sound fire. You gotta tell me about this shit sometime.
Right.
And then he just cut the bullshit. He's like, so I know you listen to my podcast. I know I see you listening to that shit. So I just want to hand this out. Like, I think you'll be a great guest on my podcast.
Yeah, he's like, listen.
Yeah, I mean, we understand that fact more than life about trying to get people on guest patrol for sure.
Oh, definitely. That's what I was like. Yo, he's like, listen. He's like, just come on the pod.
I felt that very much. And he said he wants to do an episode for bullying and stuff like that. And they end up
all right.
They end up arguing about JR pretty much and how he feels about it because Devin's good friends with Junior and his cousin's not feeling that. He a fake ass bitch. I ain't fucking with him and shit like that. Like, nah, bro. And he's like, I don't want to feel like a charity case. You only doing this because everybody bullying me and shit like that. You just gonna have me on your podcast trying to disrespect me and use me as a clown and shit like that. So he ain't fucking with nothing and storms off on Devin.
Yeah, he's like, listen, he's like my cousin, he the ops.
Yeah, he the big ops. Like, I ain't fucking fucking with that. But then we moved back to Alexi in the room while teacher was getting the school advisor together and shit like that. And in the background, you see Chucky move, and when he moves, he laughs and it spooks the shit out of Lex.
Drops her phone and everything, and then you see Chucky by the door, like, Chucky, how you move so fast,
bruh?
With no legs.
That's the thing about. That's where the jokes about all them shits about people talking about. I wouldn't be scared of Chucky if I saw him. I would just throw him across the room or something like that. That motherfucker fast, bro.
They got that Goku flash step or something. I don't know what's
that
going on.
ass, bro. There's been some scenes of Chucky sometimes walking, and them little legs be moving, bro.
Right? I'm like, dog gonna roll right up. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, them shits be I don't shit like that. So yeah, like you were saying before, Lexi turns around until she sees them, and that nigga blocking the door and shit like that. And the way how this nigga was trying to move at first, he played it perfectly still when the door opened and it knocked him across the head, and he just went back to jaw mode. But like he was definitely ready to serve up Lexi on a platter at that point.
Oh yeah, and mind you, left phone. I don't know if she got her phone at that point, but yeah.
Yeah, that bitch slid under the thing and shit like that, and she was like, "Nah, I'm out. Fuck that."
Right, and the science teacher locked Chucky in the closet.
Yeah, she said she passes by them and she was like, "I gotta stop smoking so much weed."
Right, and I'm like, they saw a little slit was open. I was like, "Oh no!" I'm like, you know, Chucky getting out of there.
Teacher lock Chucky up in the locker room and shit like that. And yep, you already know you give a little inch and Chucky gonna maneuver his way out for sure.
Right, and then Devin, like you said, Devin is looking up ads and stuff to get replies to messages about the doll.
Yeah. Jake was on the
Jake. Excuse me.
Jake was on the message board and he was looking up. Somebody messaged him about the doll, and then right after he messaged him, he gets a call. And do you know who the person that called him?
Yes.
It's our boy Andy.
Yes.
Andy was on that. He was asking the right kinds of questions. He calls him. He asks him. He was like, "Anything going on with the dog? Yo, is he been acting up? One thing you should check for that dog. You should check the batteries, bro." So Jake ended up looking up some old info, and when he started googling it, the picture of it, the iconic picture of the first massacre started to go around with the doll and shit like that, and you saw Chucky and a young Andy right there on the paper. First events.
Yep.
Oh like, shit.
Jake, trying to tell you something.
Yep. So Jake goes on and checks on his dad and stuff like that. He checks if he all right, and you know the dad's drinking like a motherfucker. And then he was like, "I thought I said no more dolls." And he pulls out Chucky, and he was like, "Chucky, I found him in the bathroom." And I was like, "Uh-oh."
Hold up. Chucky get from locked in the school science closet to the bathroom.
Not only did this nigga free himself, not only did this nigga escape, this nigga found his way all the way back to wherever the fuck the house was, and then this nigga hid out in the bathroom? Damn, talk about fucking maneuvers.
Yo, bruh.
When Chucky want your ass, he gonna find your ass. That's for sure. I
told you, Chop. He should have got that scalpel and went to work.
Nobody saw this nigga Google mapping his way to find that nigga's house is crazy.
I told you, Heidi ho, nah. Chop.
Facts, that nigga finds you one way or another for fucking sure, man. So Jake ends up taking Chucky upstairs, and he did just like Andy had asked him to. He checked for the batteries, but there ain't none in there, so it spooked the shit out of him because that motherfucker moved with no battery. So then he throw that nigga in the trash.
He's like, "Nah, you got to go.
You got to go. Bugging me here, bro. Bugging me for sure." Smashed. Go ahead.
Listen, I'm bolting up that garbage can. I'm getting that thing as far away from as hot.
Agreed, but I guess that nigga was only thinking that trash can was enough. He didn't know that nigga busted through school and all that shit all the way to get to him. So we smash cut to the talent show now. We see Devin playing the piano at the talent show. And bro, this was so weird because Lexi hosts, but she was both like host and / roaster because she was clowning everybody. She was like, "Devin, was that a song for me?" And Devin was like, "Yeah, of course it's a song for you, Lexi." And she was like, "I don't." And then she goes and violates everybody in the crowd and things. And then she turns directly to Jake. And she was like, "Hey, Devin's here and his mother's here. How about, Jake, you out yourself from something? It's something you want to tell both Devin while his mama's here." And I was like, "Bro, are you really trying to out this nigga in front of in front of his crush and his mama. Goddamn.
Yeah, I'm telling you, boy, they some certified haters.
First of all, I was like, Lexi, how you know? And second of all, what the fuck is this? All your business in front of everybody? It's everybody in their mama. It's not just them two. It's everybody in their mama. Goddamn.
Like, mind your business, bro.
I said school and the school talent show. Like, what this got to do with talent? What does that boy being gay have anything to do about the talent show?
Right?
You got to be hosting the fucking show. Come on, man. But she is stopped instantly by Chucky calling her ass out.
Yeah. Why you pick on somebody your own size? I was like,
yup. Niggas is looking all around, wondering what the fuck was going on and shit. Like,
Chucky. Jake turned around like, oh,
Chucky. Jake was like, oh shit, oh hell no. So Chucky let the real him come out and shit like that, and he was like, yo, Jake, I need some help. And he had him pulled them up, and Chucky was whispering something in Jake's ear and shit like that. Had that boy under the spell. He was like, yo, let's go upstage and shit like that. And when he went upstage, man, he had something for Lexi's ass for sure.
Here we go. Chucky was like that.
He was an ally, and then he pulled up with the receipts with Lexi's phone, and Lexi was like, oh, that's my phone. She tried to go near, and he was like, boo! And she scared the shit out of her, had her back up and shit like that. Nah, bro. He was going through Lexi's phone and that shit had me weak. He was like, Lexi got some photos here of Junior. But she also got photos of Oliver. Oh, I guess I shouldn't have said too much on that.
He's going in.
And he was like, oh, y'all laughing a bit too hard. What about everybody out here that got them secrets? Like Bree mom and Bree went from laughing to, oh, what the fuck? You know out here. And then after that, he got into some Lexi search history. And he was going in. He was like, yo, here's some regular girl shit here. And then I see a tab for Pokemon porn and why do my farts smell so good? I was like, ew.
Yeah, like I said, the crowd, Lexi was getting just what she Palmer was something else for you, Lexi.
Palmer was something on her ass too. And earlier on when she was hosting, she was coming for everybody, even her little sister. She was saying hi, mom and dad, and she was calling her little sister a brat. But when Chucky started to go in, her sister raised up like nothing else, and she was enamored by Chucky.
Yeah, I'm like, oh,
yeah, she was with everything here for sure. So Chucky claps back with the crowd for Jay because he was like, y'all laughing a bit too hard, but like we know who y'all stand with and we know who y'all get y'all kicks off and stuff like that. That's when Chucky was ready to start. He was like, fuck all of y'all.
Give my phone.
And in the midst of all this, the principal trying to grab him up and shit like that and take him off stage and shit like that. So after the talent show was over, Jake had to go home, and Jake, dad, heavy drinking with the bottle, fresh bottle that he just busted open and shit like that. Once Jake comes in, he's talking about, yo, I got a call from your school today. You've been spending, man. And the dad is mad and shit like that. He mad as fuck. And they end up arguing, and Jake is talking about how he's mad because his son's gay, and he's just like, he yokes his son up and shit like that, roasting him and shit like that. And Jake just pretty much says he wishes that he had died in a car accident and not his mother.
And
he ended up hurting his son and sending him to the room. So they got that scar and shit like that. And in the midst of all that shit, Chucky seen all bits of this shenanigans.
Saw it all. He was like, he about to get his little manipulation on.
Yeah, he said, oh, word? That's what we doing? All right, got you. So Jake is sat in his room while his dad continues to drink. But you already know Chucky already maneuvering, Chucky on the run.
Yeah.
So the drink is empty and the power has been cut and the house is all darkened and shit like that, and Jake's dad gotta figure some maneuvers to get the power back on, so he ends up going downstairs to fix the power.
And then
instantly when he go down there to go see what's up, Chucky ends up popping up there, and with all of the bourbon that he had in that, he just he sucked that shit up and sprayed that shit all at his feet when he was fucking with the electricity, and Chucky did the barf zone and he electrified the shit out of Jake's dad.
Chucky was like, and then Jake just watching like,
Jake went downstairs after hearing some noise and shit like that, and only to find his dad getting electrocuted and the close up on the eye and the eye starting to pop and shit like that. Like, he was just getting big shots. Jake's dad, he just been wiped off the board already.
Nights came on. Then you see Chucky.
We saw like in the flashes of his father getting electrocuted. You see Chucky getting closer. and closer all the way until he like yells in his face, and then they cut to the next scene. Yeah, I was curious what the fuck happened in between that time for sure. So we cut to the police. Detective Evans, which is actually Devin's mother.
That's correct.
Yep. Who ends up starting to investigate what had happened and shit like that, because police is all around. You got Jake and Chucky there at the table and stuff like that, and they trying to find out what happened. And then they get to talking to Jake, but Detective Evans' partner puts down a tape recorder down while she's trying to get like information from him. So she's trying to record and pick up what the hell's going on and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But in the midst of the interrogation, his uncle pulls up and tries to pick him up and see how the father was. But they wheel around that body, and that boy is fried with one eye.
Crispy. Dang.
Crispy fried, bad dad for sure. Oof. So Jake and Chucky leave out, and the detectives feel something is up. Detective Evans is the one that coins the title card of this episode, because she's like, her partner's like, what we going to count this as? And she was like, I guess death by misadventure. Yep. So in the meanwhile, Jake's uncle goes to pick him up and stuff like that, takes him home. Jake will now be living with them for the foreseeable future for sure. So he arrives at the uncle's big ass mansion and shit like that. They try to console him. Junior's up above, upset as fuck. He's like, oh, this lame ass nigga is in my house. Yep. So they take him up to his room and set him up and shit like that. Bree's trying to make sure he's all okay and shit like that. But before she leaves, she like, what you meant about them secrets? It was like, man, I was just fucking around. Don't worry about it. It was just me and Chucky. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's so funny. Looking back at his uncle now, it cracks me up.
Mm-hmm.
Only because of what goes down the street.
Yep. Shit's something else.
Yeah, I was like,
and speaking of that, when we saw the talent show, just looking out to that crowd and thinking of all that shit that happens down the line, I'm like, talk about a list of people that's
right.
Got bad futures.
I was like,
I looked out. Yeah, I was looking out to the crowd. I was like, man, this was just when this nigga Chucky said he's gonna get it back in blood, he got it back in blood.
He definitely did. I'm like, I was looking at all the people in that auditorium.
It's like seeing the beginning parts of Final Destination before all the shit happens.
Yep. And I was like, oh, look at look at all these people. I was like, oh.
Yep. Familiar faces all around to see what happens later for them, for sure. But yeah, so after Bree questioned Jake for what Chucky said earlier and stuff like that, right as he was closing the door, you see him and Junior have a little stare off and shit like that, and Junior not fucking with nothing, but he done for the night.
Mm-hmm.
So then we go to Jake, grabbing up Chucky and shaking him. He said, I know you can talk, you son of a bitch. Come on, son, talk to me. Talk to me. And out of nowhere, Chucky just bitch slaps him.
Yeah, he's like, shut your
bitch ass up. Talk to me, nigga. You want to talk? Here we go. And then he reveals himself to Jake, and he states he got what he states what he did to his dad, and he got what he deserves.
Yeah, Chucky with he's like, I'm your friendly, and he's like, Heidi, fucking hell. I'm like, here we go.
He said, well, I was talking about the cat, but nonetheless, yeah, your dad too, because Chucky's an ally in this bitch. So you can be gay, but don't be violating nothing like that. But nonetheless, Chucky pulls out that knife, and he's like, yo, let's talk about that bitch Lex.
Right.
And instantly, as the episode comes to an end, we see a cut back to the start of the episode, which reveals Charles as a kid, and he's meeting up the lady that was brushing her hair was his mom, and it cuts through and it says Hackensack of 1965 with his mother. So this is going to be the storyline of them telling the story of Charles Lee Ray and his origins as a murderer.
Yeah.
So the episode ends with quick credits and it closes out. So, co-host, what is your final impressions of the first episode of the series and Chucky just in general?
Listen, this dang Chucky, man. Going back to this first episode was something else. Yeah, I was with it over it. Watched everything to the current thing. So I was after this first episode, I was on board. I was like, okay.
Big time. Talk about. So I said in mine, I said hell of a slow burn through the episode, and Chucky revealing himself to these new folks and returning home to be a plague on folks would absolutely continue the show with more interactions of Chucky. Thumbs up for sure. But like just Chucky in general, man, being like nothing. Like you think some shows or something like that, like TV series, it would lose the essence of the movies. Now this shit captured everything. This is exactly what you want going from a movie series to a TV series. Nothing was changed. That the suspense is still there. Chucky's still a force to be deadly with. Like he's just fucking with people. He's messing with these kids, messing with their minds and shit like that. Like Chucky's still flagrant and foul mouthed and shit like that. Like nothing changed about it. It's just a TV series now.
Yeah,
you get mini movies.
I love how they threw up the little anti-bullying thing before the credits.
Oh yeah, that too. Anti-bullying and stuff like that. And it's just so funny how even no matter how fucked up Chucky is, he's an ally still because of his past. This is what happens when you have like Chucky lore. If you know who his child is and stuff like that, it's like you understand why he has to be an ally. Yeah. It's in with his kid.
Yeah, that's what I was like,
yeah. It's an interesting thing to take these stories and shit like that. And they were doing something. These stories was pretty stand out. And the Chucky story to go beyond past, like it's intended just holidays and stuff like that. Like Chucky's a story that can bounce between holidays, even though, this thing seems, stem towards mainly October. But like you could just keep stemming towards a multitude of different things of holidays with Chucky and shit like that. And it's just amazing how you can always just branch out with this character.
Yeah, for real. For real.
Yeah, man. This Chucky series gets a big thumbs up for me for sure.
Like I said, I was completely on board. I was ready, man. The way they left the last season, I was ready for this new season.
Yeah,
I was ready for it.
I don't know, man. I wish I guess they didn't film nothing before they was canceled, because I was like, yo, can we get like a bit more before going on TV?
Bro.
Yeah, I guess they were waiting until the announcement to see if they could start filming and shit like that. But that's heartbreaking, man.
Yep, I need some closure to this story.
I'm telling you, if they don't bring it back as a series, they're gonna do a big old movie again with them kids. I hope that's another thing. Watching this season 1 and seeing that, I always remember, whenever you're working with a kid cast, between like seasons 1 to maybe like seasons 2, them motherfuckers be growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Them kids was seeing Lexi, seeing all these kids, I was like, they babies. I just think of those trio kids now, and they big people.
Yeah, and I think about all the stuff that happened in these seasons. Let's see, I think Megan, the doll, that movie that we saw, I think she makes an appearance in here.
Yeah. Or he's definitely violated and made that joke and shit like that. He was like, the you trying to take my shit and stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
Shit, this series broke bounds. Remember when he killed Liv Morgan?
That's what I was just about to say.
Shit, like, bro, it's something else, man. This shit is gone. He probably gave it a rub. Remember when he was messing with Braun Breaker and Rick Steiner again?
That's right.
Chucky out here giving the rub. Look at that. Look at what he did to Perez. Look at where Braun is and look at where Liv is. He gave them the rub by murdering them.
Right.
Chucky can do things for you. Big ups to Chuck. And definitely hashtag, we on that hashtag renew Chucky. Renew the Chucky. Bring that shit back.
Yeah, listen, I need some closure to this.
Yeah, give me like a final season so they can wrap that shit up.
Yeah, right. Y'all can't leave me where y'all left me, and then this is the type of shit that it was that same shit I complain about every time I talk about it. Anytime somebody brings up Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go, that's that kind of cliffhanger. That's where they cancel the TV before the shit hits its peak. For real, man. I was like, no. I was like, when I heard the cancel, I was like, you SOBs.
Yeah, y'all could have canceled it beforehand at any point in time. Y'all could have canceled it between a couple other things, man. But like, y'all canceled it right when y'all had the hot cliffhanger. Yo, fuck y'all.
Same thing they did with the 4400.
Give it a renew, y'all motherfucker. Give me the renew. Right. But anyways, we gonna close the book on Chucky the TV series, and for our next preview, our next review episode, we're gonna be having our guest. We're going to have our guest out here, a man that's leaving the kitchen to come talk to us from the podcast. We're going to have Chef Q Quentin on the podcast, y'all. He want to do episode 1 of The Bear on FX and Hulu. So we're going to be getting down back in the kitchen with Chef Q, chefing it up the Bear style for sure. Chicago.
Okay, all right. All right.
So yeah, we got an email set up at blerdbynature@gmail.com, Facebook, Instagram, and threads at Blerd By Nature, Twitter/X at Blerd By Nature, nature spelled Nature. Calls, hit us with the YouTube.
You can find us on YouTube by searching for Blerd By Nature Podcast.
Yes, and we are available on all podcast platforms all around. Our last upload is still of the Pop Up Girls with Erica episode. We are cooking up and we are working towards the next episodes that's coming out. Co-host is hard at work editing and making sure everything comes out in time. So yeah, we'll see all ranges between that coming out for sure. So any final notes before I hit the outro, co-host?
Yep, watch out for them good guy dolls.
Facts, man. And if you Leroy, man, I don't know where you done with the good guy dolls. I know you probably still have them around something, but you still smoking someone out there. So always look out for them good guy dolls for sure, man. Yep. So on that note, thanks for joining us today from Black Thought to Nerd Power. This is Nicholas, Mr. Go With The Flow.
And this is the man.
Yep. And this was another edition of the Blerd By Nature Podcast.
Thank you for listening, everyone. And until next time, peace.
Heidi fucking ho indeed.